Why do our fingers wrinkle after being in water for too long? It might seem like an odd and unnecessary quirk of human biology, especially since we don't often see other parts of our skin doing the same thing as prominently. But I promise you this, there's more to this seemingly random phenomenon than simple pruning. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand the science behind water-wrinkled fingers, but also why it's an evolutionary advantage. Stick around, because this fact will completely change the way you view your own body. Alright, let's start with the basics. First things first, what exactly happens when our fingers and toes get wrinkly? Contrary to popular belief, this isn't a simple case of your skin absorbing water like a sponge. If that were the case, then shouldn't every part of your body turn wrinkly in water? Instead, this wrinkling is very specific to certain areas, primarily your hands and feet. And believe it or not, this reaction is actually controlled by your nervous system. That's right, your brain is responsible for this quirky phenomenon. Much like how your body sweats to cool itself down or your pupils dilate in dim lighting, water-induced wrinkling is an automatic response programmed into your very biology. Scientists discovered that when the nerves in your fingers and toes are damaged or severed, your skin actually loses its ability to wrinkle when submerged in water, proving that this isn't a passive process but a neurological one. But here comes the big question. Why does this happen? If you think about it, evolution tends to lead to traits that solve problems or improve survival. So what's the survival benefit in getting raisin-like fingers? Researchers believe that it's all about enhanced grip. Yes, wrinkly fingers may actually give our ancestors, and us, a better grip on wet or slippery surfaces. Studies have shown that the wrinkles, which form along specific patterns running across your fingers and toes, mimic the treads on a tire or the grooves on the sole of a shoe. These patterns help channel water away, creating more contact points with a surface and allowing for improved friction. Essentially, when our ancestors slogged through streams, rivers, or soaked rainforests while searching for food or escaping predators, having wrinkled fingers could have meant the difference between holding onto a slippery rock or risk falling into danger. Isn't it fascinating how this tiny detail connects us to our primal survival mechanisms? Let's dive even deeper, pun intended, into the mechanics of this. When your skin sits in water for a prolonged period, your body activates the autonomic nervous system, specifically the sympathetic branch, which many associate with responses like fight or flight. This activation causes blood vessels beneath your skin to constrict. It narrows them, decreasing the volume in your fingertips and toes. This shrinkage pulls the upper layers of your skin downward, creating the characteristic ridges and wrinkles you see. It's like nature's waterproof traction system, triggered on demand. To test the grip advantage hypothesis, scientists conducted experiments. In one such study, participants were asked to move wet objects from one point to another using their hands. Those who had allowed their skin to wrinkle beforehand performed significantly better than those with smooth, unwrinkled palms. On the other hand, the same advantage wasn't observed when gripping dry objects, where wrinkling offered no apparent benefit. The result? Wrinkling is probably an adaptation specific to navigating wet conditions. Pretty neat, huh? Speaking of wet conditions, did you know that other species have similar tricks even though they don't develop wrinkled skin like we do? For instance, geckos use their naturally sticky toe pads to climb slippery surfaces, and some aquatic mammals have special fur patterns to repel water. So while our evolutionary advantage isn't as flashy as spider silk or bat echolocation, it's still a subtle yet highly functional adaptation unique to human biology. Now you might wonder, if wrinkling is so good for grip, why don't we keep our fingers wrinkly all the time? Wouldn't that be a permanent edge in holding objects? Well, think of it this way. Wrinkled skin reduces sensitivity and impairs the fine touch perception necessary for tasks like writing or typing. The smooth texture allows us to maintain the high level of dexterity and precision we need in most day-to-day situations. Nature has once again struck a brilliant balance, turning the function on only when it's needed. From a cultural perspective, the phenomenon of wrinkled fingers has also captured our imaginations through history, but it's surprising how long it took for science to study it systematically. There wasn't much formal research on the topic until as recently as the 20th century. Early guesses often chalked it up to osmosis, a passive intake of water causing the swelling of the outer skin layer. And while osmosis does play a minor role, it's not the full picture. Thanks to trailblazing experiments in neuroscience and evolutionary biology, we've finally connected the dots. Funnily enough, wrinkly digits also serve as a quirky conversation starter. Think back to childhood bath times or pool parties. How often did friends and siblings compare their prune fingers, laughing or marveling at the sight? This universally shared experience ties into our collective wonder at the peculiarities of the human body. It's a small but profound reminder of how our biology shapes even the most mundane moments. So, what does the future hold for the study of wrinkled fingers? Could this natural process inspire modern technology? As a matter of fact, bioengineers and designers are constantly looking to nature for smart solutions, and wrinkled fingers are no exception. Researchers are already exploring biomimicry applications. Think gloves or tools that mimic this ridged pattern for better control in wet conditions. Who knows, the next breakthrough in athletic wear or underwater gear might be inspired by something as simple as your wrinkled fingers after a long soak in the tub. Now that we've peeled back the layers, pun intended, we can truly appreciate the incredible complexity behind those little wrinkles on your fingertips and toes. It's not just water absorption or random chance. It's a carefully tuned mechanism driven by our nervous system, designed to help us adapt and survive in our environment. From ancient rivers to modern bathtubs, the science of wrinkled fingers connects us to both our evolutionary past and our technological future. So next time you take a long bath or wash the dishes, take a moment to marvel at this quirky wonder of the human body. Remember, every wrinkle tells a story millions of years in the making. Amazing, isn't it? If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of life's little mysteries, be sure to follow Why Facts for more jaw-dropping insights. And now I leave you with this. What other hidden marvels is your body quietly performing every day? Until next time, keep marveling and keep asking why.